Laser sights enhance and maintain your accuracy in a time of crisis, preventing tunnel vision and allowing quick target acquisition in awkward shooting positions. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Welcome to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, where there's more to talk about than shooting. There's reloading and hunting and self-defense, too.
Yeah, sure, there's shooting and reloading and hunting and self-defense and scopes and ammo and slings and cases. Do you have a favorite gun case, hard case? Checking guns. Oh, by the way, shoot, do I have that here? Don't know if I can find it handy. I was looking at a letter from TSA. We'll find it. I was putting this out on Twitter and mentioned when you get your TSA pre-check, you qualify for that. You get a letter from them, and it says, welcome, blah, blah, blah. And it says, and there are several ways that you can lose your TSA pre-check qualification. And it lists several things, but one of them, it says, bringing a gun to the airport. At which point you look at it and go, what? Wait a minute. It's legal to bring a gun to the airport. In some states, it's legal to wear your loaded concealed carry gun to and in the airport, commercial airport. You just cannot approach, you can't go to the security check. You can't go to the TSA check place. You can't even get in line, because once you get in line, it's Katie bar the door, you're there. And certainly if you're traveling with a gun and you're going to check your gun, declare it and check it, you have to take your gun to the airport. And they're saying that you could lose your, and so, yeah. And I thought, well, they just made a mistake here. So I contacted the TSA. They said, well, what the heck? Everybody complains about things. Call them, talk to them. So I contacted them, got a call back, talked to a fellow there. He said, yeah, that doesn't sound right. We talked about it. He said, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's obviously you can bring a gun. There are several ways you can bring a gun. You just can't take it to the secure area of the airport. So he's going to go back and talk to the people who wrote the letter. And, he was a media guy and basically saying, yeah, they just did a bad job of writing this. We'll go get it fixed. Just kind of one of those deals. It's like, don't lose your mind. Just say, hey, and while I know what you meant and others may know what you meant, you could conceivably run into somebody who says, yeah, but it says this. I can't take my gun to the airport. Yes, you can. Traveling with guns. Hard cases. I've actually heard of sometimes either TSA or ticket agent, I don't know which, wouldn't let somebody check a gun because the gun case only had one lock on it, but there were places for more locks. And basically you had to put a lock into every one of those holes. And certainly if you use a plastic case and if somebody can pry open the end of it, I have heard others, reports of people who've had guns stolen where somebody, who knows, baggage handler, somebody pried open the case, reached in, slid the gun out. So you don't want a case where that can happen. You want to make sure it's locked in such a way. I prefer metal cases, or at least the Pelican type heavy plastic ones where they're not bendable, not those little cheap things you get at the stores. Just my thing. 866 Talk Gun. But we're also talk about stuff and gear and everything else. We've been talking, of all things, about these metal military surplus ammo cans. And Ford's calling in from Anchorage, Alaska on line 3. Ford, ammo cans. What you got?
Kind of tough to pry those ammo cans open, I'll tell you.
Sometimes it's hard to get them open at all. You got to yank on them to get them open.
At the end of the supply chain, as we are, a good ammo can is an empty one.
I like that.
But I've modified several, and so have other folks around here. What I've done is drilled holes in them to accommodate padlocks and also strobes, cameras, lacers, etc.
Oh.
I put a strobe on one and stuffed a battery, a large GI dry cell into it, and threw it out in the snow for our C-130s to locate out there as a drop zone. We ended up more than doubling our drops scores, and it was an air guard operation, and we put the blush on the Air Force because we bested them like crazy.
So they are eminently modifiable, is what you're saying.
You betcha, just with common hand tools.
Son of a gun.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you got this metal box. It is waterproof. It's airtight, so you can use it to keep things in. What else have you done with them?
Well, like I say, you cut a big hole on the side of it to mount a strobe, like you use on forklifts in a warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and mount that in there, and a toggle switch, and you stuff it with batteries, and throw it out in the snow.
I'll be darned. Good idea. Thank you for it. I appreciate that. Let's talk to Ron. He's in Bartlesville, Oklahoma on line 4. Talking ammo can. Hey, Ron.
Hi, Tom. I don't know if anybody's brought this up yet, but they make great Faraday boxes for
What is that?
electronics. A Faraday box is a EMP proof box to put electronics in, more for survivalists, and doomsday people. But
Yeah. I'm familiar with the Faraday cage. I just hadn't thought of that as a Faraday box to keep radiation or Now it would obviously keep anything from getting out. But have you tested it? Do we know for a fact it will actually keep an EMP out of whatever's in there?
I think so. If you go online and look, the thing you put, like portable radios, two-way radios, essential electronics, because you can get different size boxes, so you can get different size electronics. Because there's more than an EMP. It can be a natural event from the sun or, from a nuclear blast.
Huh. Interesting. Well, we had a lightning strike at the house a couple of days ago, fried some stuff here, so I'm kind of thinking in terms of that too. And it's not going to help with a lightning strike, but there are enough people now who are paying attention to what if you had an EMP. I'll tell you, all you have to do is read that book 1 second after, and that'll get your attention, won't it?
Absolutely. That's a great book.
It's a scary book is what it is. When you read that, you start scurrying around and gathering up stuff, and you have that aha moment when you're thinking, I just have not been paying enough attention to this subject matter before.
Well, and the thing people don't think about is a solar event, solar flare, and those have been documented, back through the years where it knocks out part of the power grid or this or that, and we have probably more likely chance of that almost than a nuclear event.
Interesting. So what would you put in ammo can to protect it from EMP?
Oh, I'd put AM, FM, shortwave radios and two-way radios, anything that you'd want to survive that you could get information from or be able to use in that sort of situation.
Sure, because if you things like that, okay, if the power grid's down and if you're having this, however long, temporary, the temporary could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, you're going to want to have communications devices in some form or fashion, either to be alerted from the authorities or where you could talk to each other. And if you have it sitting out on the counter in storage, a true EMP blast could fry it, right?
Exactly. That's correct.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay, hadn't thought of that one. I appreciate that, sir. You take care. All right, we're looking for what are you doing and what kind of uses have you made from ammo cans? Obviously, the one that comes to mind, of course, is storing ammo. How many ammo cans do you have? Where do you get them, and how much are you paying for them? Our number is 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham. Be right back with more Gun Talk.
Since 1902, Norma has built a reputation for its dedication to quality, precision, and reliability. Norma now offers a line of personal defense handgun ammunition. The monolithic hollow point 9mm is designed for the ultimate in performance across all sizes and barrel lengths. This bullet delivers unprecedented expansion and quick energy transfer for great stopping power. Norma offers proven ammunition for hunting, competition, self-defense, and more. Find yours at norma-ammunition.com.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shop guntalk.com.
Introducing the all-new St. Victor from Springfield Armory. Our versatile line of battle-ready configurations designed for serious shooters and built on the rock-solid St. platform for unwavering reliability. Available in carbine-length rifle, SBR, and pistol configurations, each St. Victor is purpose-built and loaded with features to deliver ultimate performance under extreme conditions. The all-new St. Victor from Springfield Armory. Never a victim, always the victor.
For 25 years, Crimson Trace has led the industry in laser and light technology and customer service. Now, Crimson Trace is proud to offer electronic sights and rifle scopes for tactical, target, and hunting applications, with the same Crimson Trace offer of free batteries for life on all products. The new rifle scope line is also backed by an unconditional lifetime warranty from the brand that you have trusted for over 2 decades. Find out more at crimsontrace.com.
Back with you, 866 Talk Gun. A lot of things going on in the gun world. A lot of new products being introduced. Also, some of the, well, I was going to say old things, but things are not really old. A friend of mine was asking me just this weekend. He says his wife wants a .38 revolver. I said, okay, let's talk. And I had a recommendation for him. And look, I like a lot of different brands of revolvers, okay? I have J-frames. I have Colts. I have Rugers. But for her, she's about, I know the lady, she's about 4'11" on tippy toes, little bitty woman. And I recommended the Ruger LCR. It just has a trigger pull, I think, that is easy for smaller hands to operate. And so they went out and bought it. They were going to go out and shoot it today. And he said, hope it works out, because if it doesn't, it's just, Tom, you're in trouble. Again? Oh, well. 866 Talk Gun, or just call Tom Talk Gun to get on the air here. Line 2, Jim's with us, Palmer, Alaska. Hello, Jim. You're on Gun Talk.
Hi. I was watching Tucker Carlson on Monday 6/3, and he had an individual on there. His name was Ryan Kleckner.
I know Ryan.
And, okay. So, anyway, I got on the line again a couple of days later, because they usually have a delay on YouTube as to when they post Carlson's stuff, because I wanted to save that interview and forward it to some friends. Well, I couldn't find the interview per se, but I did get the whole show, which I sent to myself. And after watching the interview with Kleckner again, I went back to the email, and I was going to send it off, and I double-checked it, and the video had been removed.
Been removed from YouTube?
From my emails. They said it was no longer available.
Huh. Because I'm looking on Ryan's website. Looks like he's got the link to them there, but I'm not sure that they're actually active. I'm clicking on them, trying to see what's going on there. I
should have looked that up myself, too.
Ryan Kleckner, by the way, it's Cleckner, or Ryan Kleckner.
Right.
Former sniper, really, really good long-range shooter and instructor. And, oh, yeah, by the way, and a lawyer, too. So, most interesting fella. And
he said in no uncertain terms that the Second Amendment was about the ability of the people to rise up against a tyrannical government. And I think that's what...
Don't just hate it when somebody actually knows what the law is and how it came about. Yeah, he's right, of course. And Ryan Kleckner, you can find him on YouTube. But let me spin back to the YouTube question. Is the question here, I guess, yes, YouTube censors things, Twitter censors things more than probably we are aware. One of the things they're doing is they're demonetizing channels on YouTube. So they'll say, yeah, you can put your videos up, but because of the subject matter, we're not going to allow you to make money off of them. So people who are actually making a living off of their YouTube videos, even though they're talking about legal things, safe things, if YouTube doesn't like the subject matter, they'll say, yeah, but you know what? We're not going to let you make any money off of it anymore. People, there's no incentive for them to do that. So that's one of the things that's going on. And I will tell you, I've thought about this a lot. I don't know that there's a way to prevent or stop that without the government coming in and essentially declaring them some sort of utility.
Yeah. Well, it was just, something that was really irritating because,
Sure.
that's the second time that I've seen him on Tucker's show, and he's pretty impressive. And
he is, yeah. Ryan's a good guy. He really is. Nice fellow. The National Shooting Sports Foundation, NSSF, uses Ryan on some of its videos as well. You can find them there. So, but look, I appreciate you pointing that out, and also gave me a chance to talk about Ryan. And we've had him on the show here before. He's a super guy. Let's see, line one. Tori's with us out of Washington. Hey, Tori.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm good. You got a range report for me. Talk to me.
Yeah. I got a 15-year-old son. He's been shooting since he's 8 or so, but I recently got an AR, and took him out and let him shoot that. He just thought it was Christmas, birthday, everything wrapped into one. He said, "This is really fun." I said, well, yeah. So now he wants to get one of his own.
Why wouldn't it be? AR-15s don't kick. They're a low-powered. The media wants to make it a high-powered. It's a low-powered rifle cartridge. The platform, the rifle itself, is ergonomically designed. It fits almost everybody with the adjustable stock on it, and it looks cool, and it's just simply a modern rifle. Now, it's a 50-year-old design, but it still works really well.
Well, and he was hitting at about 65 yards, a 1x2.
Well, there's a lot to be said for young eyes, too,
Yeah, me not quite as much, but
all right. I also see I see that you went to an air show. What'd you see there?
Well, here in Spokane, there's a field called Phelps Field. It's just a small field, not even a commercial, really. Okay. And they had a B-25, they had a T-28 Trojan training plane, and best of all, they had a P-40 Warhawk.
Really?
We got to see them all fly.
P-40, yeah, using an Allison engine in those things.
Yeah. I tell my oldest son with me, I said, that is the greatest thing to hear a piston-driven airplane come by on a low pass. Just the sound of those engines.
It is. I agree. And, the beauty of it is there are people who spend an inordinate amount of money to keep these works of art flying, and you can go to the air shows and you can see a B-17, you can see a P-51 Mustang, you can see a P-40, you can see a Corsair, and more than see them, and you're right, more than that is hearing them, because they swing these big props, and when they come roaring by, it makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
But we have Fairchild Air Force Base right over here, and they have a Skyfest pretty much every year, and they have jets, and they sound cool and all, but it's like a revolver to a pistol. They just don't stack up.
Well, you're right. I've got I was able to, and you can do this, by the way. I was able to purchase, I got 30 minutes in a P-51 Mustang, and I got to fly it. And, it's not cheap, but it's also not cheap for them to keep these things flying, and they need the money, these groups do. This was the Commemorative Air Force. And basically the guy, because he knew I was a pilot, he said, I'll do the takeoff and the landing. After that, you can do whatever you want to. Basically saying, I'm not going to let you kill us both here, okay? And it was one of those things you do. Talk about your bucket list item, to fly a P-51 Mustang. Holy cow.
I can't imagine.
Man, it was sweet. And you can buy a ride in the B-17. There's like I don't know how many of there, several of them flying. And again, not cheap, but you can buy a ride in those. You can get a ride in a Ford Tri-Motor. Talk about, we're talking about planes that are 70 years old, and they're just off the charts cool.
They had rides in the B-25.
Did they really?
$400.
How much?
$400.
It's a stack of change, but at the same time, man, it's a rare opportunity. And if you're into cool old stuff, I mean, if you like 1911s, for instance, if you like old cool Mausers, if you like neat old guns, that kind of thing should appeal to you because they're all connected to this sense of history, aren't they?
Yes, yes. You know, like you say, it's a stack of change, but that might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, the same plane that was in the Doolittle raid.
Oh, man, flew off the USS Hornet. Yeah.
We had a lady standing next to us. Her father was one of the pilots.
No kidding.
And she was telling about, you know, his experiences. Like, holy cow. You know, and we have a lot of retirees here from the Air Force, but we get other services here, too. So you never know who you're going to be standing next to and what you're going to hear.
Exactly. You know, and I always say, you know, that old guy, that old gal next to you somewhere, start a conversation because you never know what he or she has done, what that person has done. If you get a chance, if you're interested in all of that, grab a copy of Jimmy Doolittle's autobiography. The title of it is I Could Never Be So Lucky Again. And I mean, a fascinating guy, obviously, really had a place in history. But when he talks about the Doolittle raid, flying off the Hornet, and they flew over and bombed Japan, but they had to just keep going. It was a one-way mission. And they put down in China, but they couldn't go to the places where they were supposed to land because they launched so early. They ran out of fuel. They were crashing all over China. And then to read what the Japanese did when they went into China, into the villages, the ones that helped the American airmen, the Japanese were brutal in the way they treated the Chinese. But boy, that is if you're into this kind of thing at all, this is a really good book. I have it. It has a permanent place on my shelf. It's by Jimmy Doolittle, General James H. Jimmy Doolittle. The title of it is I Could Never Be So Lucky Again. It is really something else. Yeah, flying those B-25s off of a carrier. People say, that can't be done. Said, well, let's go find out. And they figured it out, and it happened. And it didn't, change the course of the war, but it did make the Japanese pull back in to try to defend their homeland. And I loved it. He said, where'd they take off from? I said, Shangri-La. It's just a cool piece of history. 866-TALK-GUN.
I heard the click, click, click of her stiletto heels coming down the hall. And I caught her perfume before she opened the door to my office. And she stood there looking like $1,000,000 tax-free. I want to talk to you, she said. Come back later, I said. I'm listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk right now.
All right, we are open lines now. Pretty much anything you want to talk about. Guns, scopes, ammo, shooting, your history with shooting, how you got started as a hunter, a gun owner. By the way, I was mentioning General Jimmy Doolittle earlier, and he was also an avid hunter. Loved to do that. So big-time hunter there. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit there, Jim. All right, 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Let's see here. Matt, line 2 in Arizona. Hey, Matt, you're up.
How you doing? Oh, sorry about that. Are you familiar with the Delton AR-15s?
I'm not. Tell me about them.
They're made by DTI Incorporated out of Minnesota, not Minnesota, but I'm sorry about that. Elizabethtown, North Carolina.
Okay.
I was at a gun show and wasn't really wanting to buy anything, but I picked one up in a box for $400. And I'm going to tell you, both receivers fit. There's no wobble, and those things are dead on accurate out of the box. They're just.
I'm just thinking now, if they're coming out of E-Town, that is where Remington had its R&D facilities. Don't know if they still do, but they used to have their R&D in Elizabethtown. I'm wondering if this is like some folks who used to work at Remington who peeled off, because that happens sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, because I've never even heard of them, but I loved the way it felt. I loved the trigger on it. Everything out of the box was just phenomenal. And I took it out at 100 yards once with the sight that they give you on it. It's a flat top rail.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really like that sight too much, so I purchased a handle for it and the scope and everything else. But 100 yards, those things are just dead on accurate, and it's built really well.
And how much did you have to pay for it?
$400.
Isn't it unbelievable what you can buy for $400 today?
Oh, I know. And, I was looking online, and they're going for $599 all the way up to $1,300, depending on what you do with it. But this one review on it, the guy says the only disadvantage that this rifle has is it's not a household name.
Well, there you go. And of course, AR-15s are AR-15s, and they're all the same, except kind of they're all different at the same time. And you can start off with a bargain basement model, and then you keep adding things and modifying, and you could take it up as far as you want to go, as far as your budget will allow anyway. That's a great range report. I was not familiar with Delton. It's on the web. I just looked it up, del-ton.com, Delton. I appreciate that, sir. Let me run down to Bob on line 4, San Antonio, Texas. Hello, Bob.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. You had somebody talking about taking rides in old warbirds, and I was going to mention if somebody really wanted to do that and they didn't have a lot of cash in their pocket like me, they could do what we did. We went over to Stinson Field here in San Antonio, and they had a UH-1 Marine. It was a Marine helicopter out of Vietnam.
That's a Huey.
Yeah, they were. I think it was a UH-1. I think it was the Bravo. Anyway, whatever it was, it wasn't Navy. I know that, but those are the ones that I rode in. But anyway, this one was a lot of fun. They had the doors wide open, and you could get a ride. I think it was $150 for about a 20-minute ride.
Whoa!
Which
I would do that.
Was totally worth it. And for a little bit extra, you could sit up front, although they didn't want you playing with the controls.
Yeah, I would imagine. Now, you said something about it, but it'd been a while since you'd been in one. Talk to me. When was the last time you were in one?
Last time was Holy Hilo when we were out. We were in a battle group, and I had been on one ship, needed to get over to another, so I caught a ride with the priest on the Holy Hilo. And that one happened to be a Marine UH-1 with I think it was the November, with the two engines, and it was set up as a gunship with the GE miniguns on the side.
What year was that?
That would have been 86 or 7, something like that.
Man.
Yeah, it was a little while ago, and it gave us all kinds of good feelings when the crew chief got out and the wiper wasn't working quite right as we were landing.
Mm-hmm.
We'd landed, and he got out, and to fix it, he just pounded on it with his fist, which got me thinking about what the rest of their maintenance schedule was like. But anyway, great aircraft to fly in, real thrill, and they had the doors open, so you're sitting on that bench seat with the doors open, they're taking turns and going around the city, and you're looking just, kind of like, look to your side, and it's down.
That brought back memories. Yeah, I know. Well, that's very cool. I had no idea. So Stinson Field in San Antonio, there you go. You can go right on a Huey. Bob, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's get Mark in here before we hit our break here. Line 3, Mark's out of Oregon. Hey, Mark, you're up.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Great, sir.
Hey, a couple weeks ago you were talking about small pistol primers and the 45 ACP.
Yes.
Flew you an email. I got it from Federal because they're the only makers I know of that run the small primer. Their response was same powder charge per bullet weight as the large pistol primers. That more reliability is what they were saying. So your powder charge is the same straight across the board for the bullet weight.
But they said, more reliability.
Yeah, they said something to do with large pistol primers having more misfires for some reason. I didn't get it. Everybody else is rolling, large pistol.
Yeah.
But Federal's running small pistol. I've ran into it, believe me. And their other excuse was that you don't have to change over. If you're running one size primer, you're running one size primer. So you can go from, 32, clear up through. And you don't have to change over.
Yeah, okay, I get that, and I don't know about the reliability. I'm going to have to ask, I'm going to find one of the ballisticians at Federal, because Federal's big company. They've got smart folks. I want to find out what the story is and, how it works. Because, me, I got to go to the full gun geeky thing on the deal. So I'll keep digging, but I appreciate the heads up on that. I was not aware that there was a reliability issue, that this is more reliable. So I got to find out. But also, I do like the fact that they say use the same data, the same load data. Don't have to worry about switching. So you can, whatever you develop for your large pistol primer loads, you can use the same load data for your small pistol primer loads. Mark, thank you. I appreciate that, sir. That's good info. All right, 866-TALK-GUN, still open lines. If you want to talk about a gun, your guns, more guns, guns for kids, guns for women. Well, what are you buying? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you when I come back. I ordered a 6.5 Creedmoor left-handed bolt action for my deer hunt for this year. Well, we'll talk about that. 866-TALK-GUN.
Are you tired of leather holsters not holding up to everyday carry, or having boxes of holsters for every gun? Try a holster from 1791 Gun Leather, offering multi-fit IWB and OWB options. Every holster is handcrafted from full grain, American heavy native steer hide. Order now and enjoy unmatched quality, versatility, and that pleasant leather aroma. For free shipping, visit 1791gunleather.com and add Gun Talk free ship at checkout.
Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. The time is now to band together. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
Hey, 2 questions about Dad that'll predict what he'll love for Father's Day. You ready? First question, is Dad a gadget guy? Yes? All right. Second question, does Dad worry about keeping the family safe and home secure? Well, of course, yes. Then it's Dad's Day. It's a Dad's Day no-brainer. You'll be a star if you get Dad Blink security cameras. And if you hurry, you'll save 20% on all indoor camera systems. Now, Blink motion-activated cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 lithium batteries, and they last up to 2 years. They even have a live feed option so Dad can monitor the home and check on the family and the pets and basically everything's going on from anywhere. You can do it from anywhere. You just dial up the smartphone app. I use it all the time. Honestly, I do. No monthly contracts. Totally affordable. And right now, here's the deal. Through Father's Day, June 16th, Blink indoor cameras and systems are 20% off. Home security just got easier. Score the perfect Father's Day gift at blinkprotect.com/guntalk. That's blinkprotect.com/guntalk. blinkprotect.com/guntalk. Blink cameras are also available on Amazon and at Best Buy. Blink is an Amazon company, and it works with Alexa. Cool. I was just putting up some Blink cameras around here, as a matter of fact, this week. Line 4, Jim's with us, Clark City, Kansas. Jim, you're on Gun Talk.
I thought I'd give you my helicopter stories.
Sure.
In the early 70s, I worked in the oil field in Ecuador, and we used the water Hueys, we call them 206s and 205s, bells, to move drilling rigs to drill wells in Ecuador. They moved them in 4,000-pound loads.
Whoa.
And we'd use them a lot. I mean, I'd ride them a lot. And then when I came back to the States, I used 206s to fly offshore for working offshore. So
now,
they're very versatile.
Were you piloting these?
No. I was a petroleum engineer. I was working on the rigs. But
Okay.
they were responsible for getting us where we needed to go and everything.
There's nothing like a helicopter to do certain jobs, because there's just nothing else that will do what a helicopter will do.
That's it. That's right. Yep, it's unbelievable. And when they came out with the rigid blade that Bell had, the maintenance on helicopters became reasonable. Before that, it was about 2 hours of maintenance for 1 hour flight. So I was told.
Well, and of course, us fixed-wing pilots, we have all sorts of jokes about helicopters. It's just they don't actually fly; they're just so ugly that the Earth rejects them.
Well, the thing is, their wing surface is the size of the area that prop is circling. So they have large wing surfaces, and when they have to come down in a crash, they stop the forward motion, which a fixed-wing aircraft can't. So I would rather come down in a helicopter than I would a fixed wing if I had to choice.
Yeah, they can auto-rotate. Exactly right.
That's right.
There you go.
I've seen them do it.
All right. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I make fun of them. I like helicopters. I'm alive today because of a helicopter. Pull me out of raging rapids in the middle of Alaska, where all 5 of us would have died. There's just no doubt about it. If we hadn't had a guy named Chuck Leather, if you know Chuck Leather in Colorado, retired real estate guy, tell him hello, shake his hand, because he saved my life. He was the pilot, guarantee. We'll tell that whole story another time, maybe over a drink sometimes. Best told over a drink. Line 1, Kyle's with us out of Chester, Virginia. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. How can I help you?
Hey, I was just curious as to your opinion, if you had any experience with any of Versa's subcompact 9mm, looking to get a first-time handgun for concealed carry, and I haven't really seen a lot of reviews on them.
There actually are some reviews out there, and they're fine. When I say fine, they work. They're dependable as far as I know. I don't have much experience with them. I would say this. What's the price range you're looking at on buying a Versa?
Price range for any gun is about $400 right now.
Oh, man. If you're willing to spend $400, the world opens up for you for an awful lot of really fine guns. And I'm just going to tell you, if it's me personally, I'm looking for a SIG or a Smith or a Ruger or one of the major names. You can get an M&P. You can get a Springfield Armory XDM. You can get a Shield. You can get any number of the Ruger American pistol is a game changer. It's amazing. You're getting pretty close to getting some SIGs at that level. Open the world, look wider. Don't get narrowed in on that. And then, basically, I would say take a look at some of the others. Ultimately, get the one that you really, truly want, because you're going to have it a long time. And you don't want to be regretting the fact that you bought one and go, man, I got this, but I should have bought that other one. We've all done that one before. 866-TALK-GUN. All right, back with you, 66 Talk Gun. And what, if you don't make it in at this segment. We can certainly get you into the after show. By the way, if you just joined us, Steve Fiested from the Blue Book of Gun Values was on earlier today. He made a stunning offer. I had no idea he was going to do this. The first 50 people to send him an email are going to get a free copy of the Blue Book of Gun Values. This is like 2,000 plus page book. And the next 50 people are going to get a free online version. You send an email to support@bluebookinc.com. Just say Gun Talk in the subject line and give them your name and your address. And there you go. If you're one of the first 50, you'll get a copy of the book. It's cool. That's pretty neat. I mentioned I had ordered a rifle. It's not that I need another rifle. You understand that, right? It's not that I need another rifle. But I wanted one. And I shoot left-handed. And what I really wanted was an old-style Mauser bolt-action model, Winchester Model 70 type. Well, I couldn't find one of those. Then I found this company up in Montana called Montana Rifle Company, and they're doing that. And they have one called the Extreme Ascent. It is super lightweight. And I just went ahead and ordered one, getting it in 6.5 Creedmoor for my western deer hunt. I don't know how long it's going to be before I get it. I don't know. And I got to figure out what scope to put on it. I'm working on that. But I'm still thinking, because I want to keep the whole package lightweight, right? That makes sense. If you're going to buy a lightweight rifle, you don't go stick a real heavy, big monster tactical scope on it. I'm really thinking 3 to 9, at the most like a 3.5 to 10 maybe. Don't need a 50 millimeter tube. Don't think those do any good anyway. I think they just are big and add weight, and they look goofy on a small trim rifle anyway. Just me, okay? That's a personal deal. What I'm really undecided on now is what I'm going to do about bullet drop compensation, because I know some scopes have the dial where you can dial up, 200, 300, 400, 500 yards, or you can do a number of clicks, but you obviously have to have a laser range finder, which I would definitely have, because judging distances in the open west is difficult. Is that 350 yards? Is that 600 yards across there? If you're looking across a valley or a canyon, there's nothing to judge it by. And it's really seriously easy to be 200 yards off on your guess. If you've not hunted much out west, it's hard to imagine you could be that far off. But yeah, you can be 200 yards off easily. I mean, I've seen people say, oh yeah, that's probably 500 yards, and you just lays it and it's 1,000 yards. You go, yeah, no, that's a lot further. And if you're shooting at something out there, you're going to miss if you really are not exceptionally good. And frankly, I have no interest. I have no interest in shooting at a game animal at more than 500 yards, and probably not even that far. Not my thing. I know some people like to use animals as targets, and they do the long-range shooting, and it's like target hunting, target shooting. I don't like that. I don't support that. Because there are a few people who can do it, but most people can't, and there's an awful lot of wounding going on that people don't want to talk about. So that's not my thing. So I'm going to be shooting, out to 400, maybe 450 yards. 6.5 Creedmoor, excellent for that. Now we're down to the scope. So anyway, that's part of the fun, right? Part of the fun. So we'll be reporting on that once I get it in, get it rigged up, shoot it. We'll see how it shoots. You'll probably shoot better than I do. Almost all of them do. If you'd like to be a part of the after show, call us right now, 866-TALK-GUN. Don't forget that special offer from the Blue Book of Gun Values. That's a great deal. In the meantime, this is a great time. It's summer. The sun's out. Go out and do some shooting. Take your family with you. It's a family lifetime sport. I don't care if it's shotguns, pistols, or rifles. Have fun out there. And always, always watch that muzzle.